Spring Jazz concert at Nirox is ushering in the season with smooth sounds of jazz. As the vibrant spring season comes alive, the concert aims to captivate the senses and create an experience for music lovers and nature enthusiasts alike, with a lineup filled with renowned jazz musicians who grace the stage, both local and international stages. The concert will be a celebration of talent and creativity. Now we're joined in studio by the concert organizer Lloyd-Anthony Smith to tell us more. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Live.
Hi, Label. Thank you for having me on the show.
It's so good to have you. I mean, talk to us about this event and the inspiration behind it.
So the Spring Jazz at Nirox has been running for more than 10 years. It's the way that we like to usher in the new season, especially after a long winter. And what better way to celebrate than a nice outdoor full day in the sunshine. People can be in their shorts if they want, barefoot for the first time in a while, and just take in the sounds of some exceptional South African jazz music.
Yeah, I want to speak about this lineup. You and I were talking about how, it's like a kid in a candy store. There's so much. Tell us a little bit about, curating the music for the festival.
Yeah, well, we've got such a wealth of amazing jazz artists in this country. And, we're very lucky that Melanie Scholz is coming to grace us with her presence. She's flying in from New York for the show. She's going to be performing alongside Bokani Daya. We've got Benjamin Jefter's Sextet, which is performing, Siama Kuzeni and Mkoy Mrubata from Vivid Africa. And we've also got Ndabo Zulu's The Offering with Linda Skakane and Deliso Ndlazi and a few others. So we're so looking forward to hosting all of those artists. It's bound to be a magical spell.
Yeah, and speak to us about how the Nirox Sculpture Park is just the perfect venue for an event of this nature and how you've grown over the years.
So Nirox as a foundation exists to foster the arts. So it does that by way of an artist residency. So we're going to be welcoming in all of these artists next week. They're going to be staying on site in residence. They're going to be able to rehearse, collaborate, and then provide a stage for them to showcase their prodigious abilities. So, and an audience, which we're looking very forward to. It's a nice full day out for families, jazz lovers, nature lovers, a whole day of music, food, art and nature.
Yeah, and I mean, talk to us about, how significant it is for Melanie to be performing in Joburg, she's been abroad for so long.
Yeah, I mean, she's doing amazingly overseas, so for us to have her back there, I mean, the theme of the concert is a return to source. We are there in the cradle of humankind, and a lot of these artists have performed on our outdoor stage over the course of the years. So to have Melanie come back after, must be close to a decade now,
yep.
To have her back is just, it's really exciting for us to welcome her home.
And I believe your early bird tickets are sold out already. Tell us a little bit about that.
They are. So they do tend to go quite quickly. Again, just because, we're at the end of a long winter, and I think people get really excited. So the early birds have gone, but there are still general admission tickets available for those viewers that are interested in joining us.
Are there any special collaborations that people can look forward to?
There's a couple of things that I'm going to just keep up my sleeve as a little bit of a surprise, but everybody that knows some of these artists knows that it's a really great set of ingredients, and we're looking forward to seeing how it all comes together.
Yeah. Speak to us about a theme. Are you going for a particular theme or a focal point for the concert?
So the return to source sort of harks back to the fact that a lot of these artists have been at the Nirox stage much earlier in their careers, and a lot of them are now mainstays in the jazz world, and they've performed on stages all over the world. And because we're also in the cradle of humankind, it is our origin story, it is a World Heritage Site, and for us to invite everybody back there to, with this whole set of stories and adventures behind them, it's a really exciting prospect.
What unique elements are you bringing to this year's concert?
So we've got the addition of an arbor lounge, which is another a slight refining and a bit of an evolution to our offering at Nirox. So it's going to have the Bakwena grooming products and barbers there for some open air pampering and some cocktails and some whiskey tastings and things like that. We've also got a really wide array of food traders, so to suit all kinds of palates. We've searched across and we've got some new people in, some stalwarts that people really enjoy, and yeah, it's just really, as you mentioned earlier, a day just for the senses.
Yeah, speak to us about that process, of curating everybody and making sure that it's just the right, people or in the right vendors and just the right music for your audience, because I imagine you have a niche audience as well.
Yeah, so I think for us, to consider what a day out in the cradle looks like, because it's so wonderful to break away from the centers of Joburg, Pretoria, Centurion, and once you get out into the countryside there, and it's just open roads into the cradle, and then just our gates open at 10 o'clock in the morning, so guests are encouraged to come early, find a spot, put down a picnic blanket, and settle into the day. And then from there, we've just tried to curate the best sounds and tastes, and because it's set inside a 20-hectare manicured sculpture garden, it's really just the perfect setting.
And the growth over the years, how do you measure the success of something like this? I mean, 10 years ago, would you have imagined it would have grown this much?
It's really exciting. The jazz has just become such a foundational point in our concert calendar. But I think what that's allowed us to do is also focus on other genres. So now we get to host, blues concerts, roots music concerts, folk concerts, operas, classical music. All of those genres have also stemmed sort of from, where the jazz was the initial sort of front set, and that we've now been able to expand into these different musical styles, and it's just really wonderful to be able to produce things like that.
And the residency is a huge part of what you do. I mean, Melanie is also part of that as well for this edition, but why is that such a huge part of what you do at Nirox?
Well, it's just, we find that that's really where the magic actually happens, because it's easy for a lot of our artists to come out and perform their sets brilliantly, perfectly, and be appreciated. But when you put these artists together, often across different musical genres and backgrounds, and then you see how they amalgamate and the magic that they create from there, it's just really, really beautiful. We had for Women's Day earlier this month, we had our phenomenal women concert, which was curated by our Stebza, the bass queen, Sedumeri, and we had 18 female artists from around South Africa with all kinds of voices and instrumentation, and to see what came out of that, I mean, it's just superb. So the concert residency program is something that we're very proud of, for sure.
All right, Lloyd, thank you so much for coming. Good luck for it is next week, hey?
It's next week Sunday, the 3rd of
Sunday.
September, yeah.
All right, so spring is officially upon us.
Yeah, let's do it.
Lloyd, thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you, Liv.
All right, speaking to us is the concert organizer, Lloyd-Anthony Smith.